Just imagine you are waking up in the UAE with overnight air raid sirens, missile interceptions, and sounds of drone and missile attacks where you were on trip. The Gulf, that was a safe haven for decades for tourists, despite Middle East conflicts, got shattered by the US-Iran war. Iran army targeted sites in Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain on July 9th as the United States launched a fresh wave of strikes across Iran to curb Tehran's ability to threaten shipping through the Strait of Hormuz following failure of the ongoing peace deal between the two countries. In this video, we will discuss how the Gulf actually fell victim of the 2026 US-Iran conflict and how American military bases turned bullseyes instead of protective umbrella for the peace-loving region. For decades, Dubai cultivated its status as the UAE's financial powerhouse and safe haven for tourists across the world amid endless Middle East turmoil. Dubai stood on high alert, battered by missile and drone strikes from a vengeful Iran after joint US-Israeli strikes killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. The safe haven perception changed after Iranian strikes entered Dubai's airspace, targeting the world's busiest airport for international travelers and city's royal Burj Al Arab Hotel. The Gulf-US relation for decades was like selling energy and buying weapons and protection. The perception has changed now. Gulf analysts and officials have publicly expressed frustration that the US pulled on Iran, but the Gulf paid a heavy price, economically, politically, and in terms of physical security. Critical infrastructure, ports, energy facilities, and shipping lanes faced new risks in Gulf region during the US-Iran war. For small, export-dependent states like the UAE, Qatar, and Oman, these threats aren't abstract. They directly endanger economies and domestic stability. Iran's missile and drone strikes and regional spillovers has created so insecurity across the Gulf that US Secretary of State Marco Rubio traveled to the Gulf to meet with key US partners in the region. This has pushed the Gulf states to rethink their alliance with the US and the neighboring countries. The lesson is clear that total US security dependence can be strategically risky in the new multi-power world. Gulf nations pursuing new defense strategies. Former officials and analysts see the Gulf nations adopting several new strategies to protect themselves. They are likely adapting to living with Tehran's growing power, investing more resources in defense. Gulf countries are also deepening defense ties with China, India, Pakistan, Turkey, Britain, France, Germany, and other European nations as part of their strategy to diversify security cooperation in anticipation of future uncertainty. This means that, while Rubio's visit is important, these countries are also discussing what comes next among themselves. They are concerned that the US rushed into the war with Iran without consulting them.